All right, people, it's about that time. We are getting close and closer, closest to the NFL PCFF draft. Take two. All right, here we go. 3, 2. We are getting closest to the PCFF draft coming up this Saturday. Now, that felt good. I'm going to use this one. Clip Brock here on the PCFF Podcast, brought to you by PCFF, the Pitt County Fantasy Football League. We are previewing the draft today with a very special guest. Jaws is going to join us again, and we'll go ahead and connect with him right now on the PCFF live line. Jaws, great to hear from you again. It's football time. How you doing?
Tell you what, Cliff, I'm doing real well with my a guy who got the axe last year. Hank Williams Jr. would say, "Are you ready for some football?"
Well said, Jaws. Jaws, I hate to start on a down note, but I got to get this out of the way. I tuned into ESPN preseason football last Thursday. I did the same on Monday night, and I saw Mike Tirico. I saw John Gruden. I didn't see Jaws, and I got to tell you, it's I knew it was going to happen. I mean, it's well documented. You're off the Monday night team, but it was really tough to watch a game without you up there. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a business, Cliff. It's a business. It's gritty. It's gutty, just like football. And sometimes you get cut. Sometimes you make the team. But we're moving forward. I'm keeping a good attitude about it. I'm trying to stay busy, X's and O's. I'm more of an X's and O's guy than an analyst anyway.
Well, Jaws, the good news from all that is you'll have a little extra time to spend with us here on the podcast. So looking forward to, as you said, breaking down the X's and O's with us here in the PCFF. Jaws, let's do a little draft preview. Draft coming up on Saturday. I want to get your thoughts on a few select players that are making headlines and will be making headlines this year. I want to start at the quarterback position, and I know you're very excited to see this guy back on the field throwing the football. Of course, I'm talking about Peyton Manning, Jaws. What do you think about Peyton and his prospects here in the 2012 season?
Well, it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. That is for sure. I'll be tuning in that first Sunday night when he takes on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Where he lands in Pitt County, I don't know. Is he a first-rounder? Is he a second-rounder? Is he a third-rounder? 3 legit questions.
Is he a fourth-rounder? Jaws.
Obviously, you got to put into play. I mean, he gets hit in the back of the neck, he might be dead. But I sure as heck hope he's 100% just from the league's sake.
Jaws, one thing you didn't address there, is he a fourth-rounder?
He very well could be a fifth-rounder, Cliff.
All right. Moving on, quarterback position. How about a guy that could put up some big numbers this season? A little shaky in the clutch. That's his MO. That's what he's known for. But I'm talking about a guy named Tony Romo. Big season coming up for Tony, Jaws?
Well, I thought so, but after watching that game last night, I tell you what, I just don't know. 1 first down, the problems that come with his teammates. I don't know. I mean, I've always been a fan of Tony. He's got great mechanics. He does have problems in the past, but, you know, they say that about every quarterback until they win the big one. But I expect Romo to bounce back and have another solid season. I guess last year he did have a good season, but we'll see what happens. Is he a first rounder? Is he a second rounder?
Yeah. Third, fourth. Yeah, who knows? Could be fifth. Jaws, NFL teams were debating this one for a long time. Luck versus RG3. Now PCFF teams will have to do that master debating as they get ready to take one of these guys in the draft this weekend. Where do you stand, RG3 versus Luck? After one preseason game, they both look pretty good, huh?
I'm going to have to start using that on master debating. Yeah, if you look in the years past when quarterbacks go 1 and 2, usually one pans out and the other doesn't. Mm-hmm. In this case, I think it might be different. I like what I'm seeing from both of these guys. Andrew Luck, I mean, Jesus, he looked like Aaron Rodgers the other night. Mm-hmm. And in practice, he's looked unbelievable. I was scouting him out their first week of training camp. He got unbelievable potential. RG3, same thing. It's going to be fun to watch these guys develop. Hope for your sake and the Redskins' sake that RG3 is just as good, if not better than Luck. But right now, Luck is just, he doesn't look like he's going to miss.
We're talking to Ron Jaworski, previewing the upcoming PCFF draft. Let's look at a running back. This guy won't go first off the board, more than likely, Jaws, but should be an early pick. I'm talking about beast mode. I'm talking about Marshawn Lynch. You don't know if he's going to get suspended or not. Let's kind of put that aside. What about his play on the field? Can he match his success from 2011?
That's a tough question right there, Cliff.
Thank you.
He's got a year older. The talent around him's a little bit different than last year. You never know. If he gets suspended, obviously the numbers aren't going to be there. But I think he will be a first-round pick in PCFF if he doesn't get suspended by then. Of course, that's just 4 days away, so we'll have to see. But right now, that's one of the bigger tough questions. Ron Jaworski, ESPN.
Yeah, Jaws, you brought up something too. You said Marshawn Lynch is a year older. I think that's a great point. And could you make the case that everyone in this draft is a year older?
You very well could, except for the rookie. Sure, they're a year older, but last year they weren't available in the draft.
Yeah.
So everybody else, yeah, I guess unless their birthdays fall between August 22nd, 2011 and August 18, 2012, I guess they are a year older.
Great points from Ron Jaworski. This is why we have him on the show, people. He's letting you know what he thinks about these picks. I want to talk about a guy that, had a down season last year, got a contract, and I want to get your thoughts on Deshaun Jackson. A lot of people think that Eagles offense will be explosive. Is his stock rising, falling, staying the same? Is he a year older? Is he a first, second-round pick? Help me out, Jaws.
Well, that is one thing. He is a year older. Unfortunately for Marshawn Lynch, he's at an age where with running backs and you're a year older, it makes a big deal. Not for this guy, Deshaun Jackson. I tell you one thing, though. I don't think I've ever said a negative word about anybody. But Deshaun Jackson, I just don't see it. I see a guy with a head case. He just got paid. He's going to get lazy. His quarterback might get hurt in the first game of the regular season. It's a tough situation. I mean, 2 years ago, the guy was arguably the most explosive player in the league. But now, I don't know what's going on with him, but I see his stock dropping right now.
All right, stock drop, Deshaun Jackson. I want to talk about a tight end now. Everybody, before training camp started, and I say everybody because, everybody I talked to, whether it was my wife, my coworkers, my daughter, Susie Colbert, they all said Fred Davis was going to have a breakout year with RG3. Now, RG3 and Fred Davis have not had that connection. They certainly didn't have it in the first preseason game. So I'm going to ask you this, Jaws. Year older, stock dropping, stock falling, first round, third round, eighth round. What do you say?
Well, he's definitely a year older. I wouldn't put too much in them not connecting at this point. They've only been playing together for, 2 weeks now. But with a target like that, he's eventually going to get it right. Rookie quarterbacks need that tight end they can depend on. A lot of times they make a mistake going outside and get a pick six, and then they want to keep it simple over the middle. That's where he's going to come into play. Ron Jaworski, ESPN.
Jaws, he got in trouble for smoking marijuana last year. I want to ask you, have you ever smoked marijuana, and if so, were you ever caught?
I'll tell you what, Cliff, I went to college in the hippie era, so I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. All right, good point. Jaws,
I think you know where I'm going with that one.
That was a great answer. Ron, any inside stories with ESPN you want to share with us before we let you go here today?
Let's see. Let me research it. And
okay.
Actually, here's a good one.
Okay.
Just the other day, I saw an old friend of yours, I believe, Chris Berman. Hadn't seen him in a while. He's back in the studio as much as I am now. Run into him on occasion. And went to the bathroom, and this guy was just taking a monster deuce.
Whoa.
I could smell it
Whoa.
the hallway.
Awesome.
And sure enough, it was Berman. And he was doing some of his famous quotes, back.
Oh, man.
It was quite the scene. And I got it on YouTube. It got erased really quickly. I might get a little trouble for it, but Ron Jaworski, ESPN.
Man, so you're kind of the jokester around the Bristol campus at ESPN.
I like to keep it fresh. I mean, like me and Robin Roberts back in the day,
Yeah.
I like to keep it fresh.
I remember that.
But nothing new on the love scene. ESPN's really, really cracking down on that, as most of the world is.
Yeah, they are. I see that. It's
You
just
can't go out and molest a lady anymore.
it's the times we live in, Ron, is what it is. I didn't.
You're exactly right, Cliff.
Aaron Andrews and Michelle Beadle, two high-profile ladies from ESPN, both gone with the company now. I'm sure you could land either one of those two broads if you wanted to. Is now the time to pounce that they aren't, co-workers with you anymore?
Well, one of them, there's already been a connection with. I'd rather not say.
Okay. One of them, though.
Yeah, and the other one, I've tried numerous times. Strike one, strike two, he struck out.
Using a
baseball.
baseball.
Yeah, been there, done that. Rosworth, ESPN.
Ron, great stuff. I think we should end it on a high note, George Costanza style, so we'll do that here today. You a Seinfeld fan, by the way, Ron?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right, well.
How could you not be?
Yeah, that was a dumb question. Sorry. Ron Jaworski, ESPN, joining us here. Ron, we will conduct the draft this weekend. I know you'll be covering it, and hopefully we can talk to you and have a draft recap soon.
Looking forward to a clip. Ron Jaworski, ESPN.
There he is, another great interview with Jaws here on the PCFF podcast. The draft is quickly approaching. I'm going to get out of here and talk to you again after the draft. We'll have a draft recap, hopefully with Jaws and some of the PCFF owners coming up next week. Thanks for tuning in. Later on, dude.